Florida homeowners, brace yourself because what President Trump and Governor Ron DeSantis just pulled off could put real cash back in your pocket before the fireworks even start this July 4th. Well, I mean, we are running out of time, so maybe a little bit after. But guys, while the rest of America is still complaining about high taxes, sky high bills, and empty promises, Florida is about to watch millions of homeowners get paid. And it's not just a little refund check. This is a double punch to the relief that ties your state property taxes to President Trump's massive, unstoppable mega bill, the biggest tax and border reform package since his first term. Now, if you own a home in the Sunshine State of Florida, or you know someone who does, this means thousands of dollars back in your pocket, back into your family's hands, not in the hands of the bureaucrats, lobbyists, or big city politicians who tell you that they know better and they could do better with your money than you can. Well, here's a twist, guys. They did it. Smart, strategic, patriotic. They did what was required for Americans. What they didn't do is they didn't come begging Washington for scraps. This actually came from President Trump's Megabill and Ron DeSantis' boldest tax move yet. Now, if you appreciate the daily news updates, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Now, here's what they're not telling you on the news. This cash relief is just the start. Because buried inside of President Trump's big, beautiful bill are hidden tax cuts, overtime pay boosts, zero tax on tips, and border funding tricks that free up billions more. And Florida's got a plan to explode the Homestead exemption that could triple your savings if you know how to claim it. Now, stick with me, guys, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to break down exactly who qualifies, how much you can get, and the secret reason why some people don't want you to find out about this at all. Now, this is your money, this is your home, and your chance to beat the broken tax game. All right, guys. So again, I want to go ahead and set the stage for what just happened. Independence Day is basically here, but this year, Florida homeowners are about to get more than just a cookout and some fireworks. They're about to get paid. Now, after months of back and forth, late nights in Congress, and fights that you never really saw in the evening news, President Donald J. Trump did exactly what he promised. He pushed his big, beautiful bill over the finish line. And he said he would fight for the hardworking American family. And guess what? He did. So, but here's what makes this moment next level. Florida, our own Sunshine State, didn't just sit back and wait for Washington, D.C. to send scraps. Governor Ron DeSantis stepped in at the same time with a plan that over 5 million homeowners can benefit from. A plan that says, look, you shouldn't have to pay rent to the government to just keep living in your own house. Does anybody agree? Can I get an amen in the comments down below? So while other states are still arguing over budgets and kicking the can down the road, Florida is making real moves. And this is not pie in the sky. It's cash in your pocket. This is immediate. This is real. This is the government finally working for the taxpayer, not the other way around. So, you know what really makes this feel so different, to be honest with you guys? It's not charity. It's not stimulus. You know what I'm saying here? It's not another loan that you have to pay back later. This is your money, your overtime, your tips, your property value that you work for, protected and returned back to you instead of being eaten up by some bloated taxes and waste. For way too long, Florida homeowners, especially retirees and working class families, they've watched their property tax bills shoot through the freaking roof. Meanwhile, wages stayed flat. Many people feel like they're one big tax hike away from losing what they've built for decades. Am I talking to anybody out here, guys? Are you guys feeling what I'm saying here? President Trump and Ron DeSantis, they know this. They didn't ignore it. They didn't downplay it. They tackled it head on with two big moves working together to flip the script. So I want to zoom in on the federal piece first. Okay. So President Trump's big, beautiful bill, it's not just some catchy name. It's a full-blown, no-nonsense relief package that rewrites how your money gets taxed. So first, overtime. Now, for every single American busting their back to try to pick up extra shifts, maybe second jobs, late nights, the third shift, you know what I'm saying? You keep all of that extra money, federal tax-free, for millions of Floridians in tourism, hospitality, and construction. That's not pennies. That's thousands of dollars staying in your wallet every year. Second, tips. Florida runs on service. hotels, restaurants, beach towns, all run on tips. And before the IRS took their slice every year, they used to just take it, almost right off the table the moment you touched it after someone left you a tip, no matter how small it was. But not anymore. Those cash tips, that generous tip on your dinner bill, President Trump's new law means you keep it every cent because you earned it. Third, those 2017 tax cuts that put more in your paycheck, Trump's not letting them expire. He's locking them in. That means your standard deduction stays higher. Your tax bracket stays lower. Your paycheck stays fatter. And anybody okay with that? Right? So fourth, for families raising kids, the expanded child tax credit just got even bigger. So when groceries cost more, gas costs more, you're not stuck shouldering that alone. That's more real money staying in your house for school clothes, sports gear, maybe a family meal, whatever you decide to spend your money on. Now, this is not about Washington giving you something. So don't let them try to convince you of that, okay? This is about Washington not taking what you already earned. Now, for years, families worked overtime only to lose half of it in taxes. Tips literally went straight from the table to Uncle Sam's back pocket. Meanwhile, the politicians who voted for these taxes never skipped a paycheck themselves. Trump has said enough this time. He ran on America First, and this bill is paychecks first. And you know what the best part is? If you live in Florida, this is only half the story, because Ron DeSantis stepped up to the state level to make sure that your biggest local burden, your property tax, finally gets some real relief too. So here's a question. How exactly do you get that $1,000 check? Who qualifies? And why did some local politicians freak out and try to stop it? Well, stick around, guys, because I'm breaking down the Florida side of this double benefit, how it stacks with President Trump's Megabill, and why this might actually be the biggest tax break Florida homeowners have ever seen. Now, when you hear the numbers, you'll realize that this is not a gift. This is your money finally coming home. Now, when I chose to work with Chapter, it wasn't just about Medicare. It was about what Medicare costs can take away from you if you're not careful. These Medicare costs can take away from your food budget. It can take away from your rent money, even your peace of mind. And so this is why stories like the one from 123 Forever Blessed one meant so much to me. She said, Ron, they saved me thousands, and I got free premium Instacart for my groceries. It was so easy. I'm telling all of my friends to use your name and call. Well, 123 Forever Blessed one, I cannot thank you enough for sharing this information with your friends. And I really appreciate you taking the time and sharing your personal story with me. And Frances Latiro didn't even know how much she was losing until Chapter stepped in. She said, we're saving $65 every single month. That's gas money, groceries, a big help. Wow. One call changed everything for those ladies here. And it can do the same for you. So give our friends a Chapter call right now. It's a totally free call. 909-563-8279, or better yet, hit them up on their website at askchapter.org/Ron. I left a link for you in the pinned comment down below. These are the nicest people you'll ever speak to. Again, it's totally free, zero pressure. You could literally just call them up, ask them a question, and then be on with your day. Best case scenario, you'll end up saving some cash. So let me know how it works out for you in the comments. I'd love to hear from you guys. My partnership is your proof. They care about you and your wallet. Now, all right, let's talk about this Florida piece, the one that Ron DeSantis dropped while everybody else was busy complaining. Now, if you're a Florida homeowner, especially if you're full-time and you claim your homestead exemption, you're in line for a $1,000 rebate check. No strings attached. Now, guys, this is over 5 million households who could see this money hit before the year's out. Why now? Because Ron DeSantis knows exactly what's crushing people. Your home's value's going up. Great, right? But your property tax skyrockets even faster. And while your home's value goes up on paper, your income often doesn't keep pace. This is a massive problem, especially for retirees on a fixed income like Social Security, SSI, or SSDI. Retirees get hit the hardest. Families feel squeezed, and it's death by 1,000 tax cuts every single year. So instead of just shrugging like other governors do, Ron DeSantis took Florida's record budget surplus, billions that would usually just kind of get buried in state bureaucracy, and said, hey, look, send it back to the people who actually paid in. No new debt, no new schemes. It's just a straight $1,000 check per household if you've got that homestead exemption. That's groceries, gas, insurance, or a little breathing room when everything else feels like it's kind of going up except for your paycheck. But let's be clear, guys. Some local politicians hated this. They said it would blow a hole in city budgets. But here's the part they leave out. Florida's sitting on billions in dollars in reserves because smart leadership planned ahead. That means that there is money there. It's your money, not theirs to hoard. And guess what? President Trump loves this approach because it matches his core promise. States should protect homeowners and taxpayers first, not pile on fees to, feed these bloated local bureaucracies that never even get things fixed. But Ron DeSantis didn't stop with just writing one-time checks. Nope. He's actually pushing for something way bigger that could protect homeowners for years. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Now, alongside this $1,000 rebate, Ron DeSantis is floating a plan to double or even triple Florida's homestead exemption. So right now, the standard exemption shields a chunk of your home's value from local property taxes. But with housing prices jumping like they have since 2020, that exemption really hasn't been able to keep up. So Ron DeSantis wants to expand it so that up to $100,000 of your home's value could be completely protected from local property taxes. For a lot of homeowners, especially retirees on fixed incomes, that could mean thousands saved every single year. Now, if you stack that with the $1,000 rebate, you're not just getting a one-time break. You're getting ongoing protection against runaway tax bills that swallow your equity and punish you for owning your home. And this aligns perfectly with President Trump's Megabill. While Trump cuts the federal taxes that chip away at your paycheck, Florida slashes the local taxes that chip away at your biggest asset. That's strategic. That's layered relief. And so this is exactly how leadership should work. Top down and bottom up, covering you from every side instead of squeezing you from every direction like we all felt under Biden's economy. But this is where it all comes together because President Trump's team did not just pass a big bill and walk away. They designed it to match what states like Florida are doing. So the relief stacks layer by layer. So here's the real genius part. And trust me, guys, they don't want you to know about this, and they're not going to talk about this on cable news. This isn't just a one-off Florida gimmick, and it's not just a federal tax cut floating by itself. This is a double-engine strategy. Trump's team made sure that the big, beautiful bill stacked with what Florida is doing at the local level, so families get hit twice, but in a good way for once. So think about it. On your paycheck side, Trump's federal law means no tax on your overtime, no tax on your tips, and permanent lower brackets for middle-income families. Now, on the House side, Ron DeSantis' rebate cuts your property taxes today, and the bigger homestead exemption shields you from future tax hikes tomorrow. Now, if you put that together, you're not just getting a break. You're keeping more of every single dollar that you earn and every single dollar that your home holds in value. This is how real people actually build wealth and keep it. And so it's not random luck. Trump's White House designed this play to fit states like Florida perfectly. They knew some blue states would never pass relief for homeowners. They knew states like Florida would. So the plan gives them the room to be able to use the federal boost to fund state level rebates and expansions. It's smart, it's strategic, and it's 100% America first. So next time somebody says, oh, it's just another tax cut for billionaires, tell them that they're dead wrong. The billionaires don't live in the neighborhoods that are losing sleep over property tax bills, okay? The billionaires don't get hit by surprise overtime taxes or IRS fines on waitresses' tips. You do. And now you get that money back. But of course, not everybody wanted this to happen. So here's the part you probably didn't hear on the late night headlines because it got buried under some political drama talk. So in Congress, you had a few holdouts. Some conservatives, guys like Chip Roy and Andy Harris, said that they love Trump's vision, but they panicked about the deficit because the Senate added a big last-minute green energy subsidy that padded the cost. Now, they argued the bill would add billions to the debt. They wanted a slower plan, more amendments, classic DC foot dragging. But President Trump and House Speaker Mike Johnson, they knew one thing: families don't have time for politicians to play that someday game. The people needed relief today, now. So they held the line. They whipped the votes, and they got it passed with only 2 Republicans breaking ranks. No Democrats crossed the aisle. They all voted no, claiming it would hurt Medicaid and local schools. Sound familiar? Do you guys believe that? The same tired scare lines that you've heard for 30 years every time taxes go down. But Trump's team didn't just wave it off. They showed how the bill actually shores up Medicaid long term by tightening spending elsewhere, trimming waste, putting cash back in the pockets of working families, the very people who fund the programs in the first place. And the same thing in Florida. Some local city officials and legacy politicians whined that Ron DeSantis' rebate and Homestead boost would gut their budgets. But guess what, guys? The state surplus is massive. They planned for it, and they chose people over paper pushers. So President Trump and Ron DeSantis stuck together on principle, protected working class families. They decided to stop punishing homeowners and deliver relief without excuses. So now we know who fought it. We know who pushed it through. But here's what really seals the deal for me. But the border security, guys. And you've got smart spending cuts that actually make all of this possible without bankrupting the next generation. So now you know, anytime Washington finally gives the people back a piece of their paycheck, you're gonna actually hear the same tired script. And we've all heard it. Oh, it'll hurt the schools. It'll gut healthcare. People will be left with nothing. Guys, this is exactly what Democrats screamed when Trump's big, beautiful bill hit the floor. They claimed working Americans would wake up with no Medicaid, no local hospitals, chaos in the streets. But here is the actual truth. Trump's team built this bill to shore up Medicaid, not to strip it away. It roots out waste. It closes insane loopholes that funnel money to phantom accounts and shady middlemen. And the same thing goes for schools. Florida's local funding stays protected because DeSantis tapped the record surplus first, instead of throwing reckless promises on a credit card like the old Biden crowd did. So when critics say there's not enough money, I want you to ask them why they never mentioned the billions wasted every year on programs that never reach the people who need them. Trump's plan stops that drain, locks it down, and reroutes savings to real families so that your overtime, your tips, your homestead savings aren't traded away for political talking points that never even deliver. This is the split screen, guys. The old swamp talkers taxing your labor, your house, your side hustle, and then they tell you that it's for your own good. I call BS on that. Do you? Trump's team says no more. You get to keep what you earn, protect what you own, and stop paying rent to the government just to sleep in your own bed. That is the difference. But here's the real kicker that most people didn't even see coming: how Trump's border plan is actually funding part of these cuts by shutting down leaks nobody else wanted to even touch. And it all starts with a wild Florida twist that people are calling Alligator Alcatraz. Yeah, you heard that right, guys. Let me explain. So while DC insiders were busy complaining, Trump and Ron DeSantis were cooking up a fresh fix for the southern border. And Florida is now ground zero for part of it. So Trump's big, beautiful bill didn't just slash taxes. It unlocked billions for real border enforcement. And part of that, new, lower cost detention solutions that use natural barriers, rivers, swamps, and yes, Florida's infamous Alligator Alcatraz. Now picture this: a secure migrant holding facility in the Everglades, surrounded by terrain that you don't just stroll out at midnight. It's low cost, low maintenance, and it works. So instead of endless catch and release, chaos draining taxpayers billions of dollars every single year, The plan keeps illegal crossers contained until they're deported. Guess what that saves? Billions of dollars. Money that used to vanish paying for, repeated processing, housing, and court costs for the same illegal re-entries over and over and over. Now it stays in American hands. That freed up cash, it helps cover the lost federal revenue from Trump's tax cuts. So you get to keep more without blowing up the deficit. So that's the backstory on that. Democrats, they mocked it. Well, what if somebody escapes and gets eaten by an alligator? Well, maybe don't cross illegally in the first place, right? I mean, that's the point. A real deterrent that actually works. And why are you trying to escape, right? So it's like you entered illegally, step one, you screwed up right there, and then you try to break out and escape from the detention center. That's strike two. If you get eaten by an alligator, that's your bad. So it's a border solution only Trump's team would dare green light because it's strategic, it's unconventional, and it makes big government waste scream for mercy. So anyway, I want to go ahead and add this all up for you guys. Tax cuts at your paycheck, tax cut at your property line, smarter border security that actually saves money instead of burning it, and a plan to lock it all in for good. I mean, this sounds brilliant, doesn't it? All right. So if you stuck with me this far, I think you're already seeing that it's not just about some one-time check or a temporary cut. Trump's team and DeSantis are laying the blueprint for something bigger, a complete rethink of how Florida funds itself and how homeowners get treated long-term. Governor Ron DeSantis has already teased it, a 2026 constitutional amendment that could lock in permanent property tax protections, or maybe even scrap the entire outdated system and replace it with a model that doesn't punish you for owning your own home. So why does that matter? It matters because right now, Florida's property taxes bring in billions of dollars. They pay for schools, roads, local safety, you name it, right? But the truth is that money is often wasted on padded, government bloat, runaway budgets that never get trimmed. Ron DeSantis and Trump see a smarter way. Keep that money in your pocket first, then build leaner budgets, cut the waste, use smart federal trade policy and border savings to fill the gap. And guess what? If Florida pulls this off, other states will watch and will likely follow. And so this could very well be the spark that finally forces bloated states to stop punishing homeowners who dare to build a little bit of equity, right? Imagine no more punishing yearly spikes that, just cause your neighborhood. No more yearly spikes just because your neighborhood got a little trendy. Maybe a developer flipped the house next door. Imagine never feeling like you're paying rent to the government just to stay in your own home. Some people have their homes paid off and they're feeling like they're renting because they're stuck with massive property tax bills. Anybody watching a show with a paid off home or plan to pay their home off? This is the vision, guys. And enough people stand up. It's not fantasy. It's on the ballot. And you know who's watching it closely? Trump's team is ready to back any state that fights for its homeowners instead of squeezing them dry. So the pieces are in motion, but you still have to claim your piece of it. So here's what you need to do right now. So first, if you're a Florida homeowner, I want you to check your homestead exemption status today. If you're not sure, call your local county property appraiser's office. They'll tell you how to claim it fast. That $1,000 rebate is tied directly to that exemption. So don't assume that you're on the list if you haven't filed for it yet. Second, remember, President Trump's federal cuts are already law. The overtime pay, the tax protections, the bigger child, credit, these are built right into your paycheck automatically. But you still need to watch your pay stubs and make sure that your employer's handling it right. Talk to your HR. Be your own advocate. Don't leave free money on the table. Third, stay plugged in. Ron DeSantis is laying the groundwork for 2026 ballot pushes right now. If you want permanent relief, not just a one-time check, you need to be ready to vote when the time comes. And last, talk to your neighbors. A lot of people don't even realize that this money's real. They think it's all talk. I want you to show them this video. Share it. Get them ready to claim what's theirs. This works when millions of everyday homeowners stand up together and say, hey, enough. The government works for us, not the other way around. And look, Trump and Ron DeSantis didn't make this happen for billionaires. They did it for the families who actually build America. The people who pick up the extra shifts, serve the meals, pay the mortgages, and want to pass something down to their kids without the tax man trying to tear it apart. So that's what this is about. So here's where we land. This is not charity. It is not a handout. It's not Washington tossing you crumbs, to buy your vote and then hiking your taxes behind your back later. It's none of that. What President Trump and Governor Ron DeSantis just did together it's the clearest sign yet that real leaders can protect the American homeowner. They can defend working families. They can prove that government doesn't have to take more to do its job well. President Trump's big, beautiful bill is more than a headline. It's a blueprint that says that your time, your overtime, your tips, your side hustle, it's yours, not the IRS's. A blueprint that says your home, the place you raise your kids, build memories, and maybe retire in peace should be protected, not squeezed dry every year by some bloated local tax collectors. And Ron DeSantis, he's proven that states don't have to wait for permission. He saw Florida families hurting, looked at the surplus, the money taxpayers already paid in, and he did the right thing. Send it back. $1,000 up front, thousands more if the bigger Homestead exemption lands, and momentum for a permanent fix that could echo way beyond Florida's borders. So if anybody tells you that this is reckless or it's unrealistic, I want you to remind them, under the old system, the only thing that was growing was your tax bill. The only thing shrinking was your paycheck. Trump just flipped that script once, okay? And he's about to flip it again because he knows exactly who built this country. And it wasn't the lobbyists. It was you, the servers, the nurses, the night shift welders, the firefighters, the police officers, the retirees who stayed put and kept paying their dues year after year. This is who this deal is for. That's who's finally getting paid back. So here's what you need to do next. Check your Homestead, watch your paycheck, share this with someone you love, and stay ready, because July 4th isn't just about fireworks this year. It's about freedom from taxes that never end, promises that never deliver, and politics, as usual, that never put you first. Trump and DeSantis just did, and if you stand with them now, you'll prove this works, that smart, bold, America First leadership can protect your wallet and your freedom at the same time. So hit the like button, drop your thoughts in the comments down below, and tell me, do you think every state should follow Florida's lead? Should your state get this too? Where are you watching from? Let me know in the comments down below. I want to hear your stories, and trust me, I will be reading them. God bless you. God bless Florida. God bless the United States of America. I'm out.